All right, let's take a look at some of the dailies here today, and we'll start with Nigerian Tribune. Minimum wage. NLC, TUC say no going back on May 31 deadline. That's a big lead on the front page here today. Look at the riders. 1. NERC over refusal to reverse hiked electricity tariff. Finance, Justice Minister, NJC, MBA, others, okay. 300% salary increase for judicial officers. Okay, so, well, somewhat related there, isn't it? So that's a front page of Nigerian Tribune. And then look at New Telegraph. Poor remuneration. Nigerians suffering consequences of deprived judiciary, ascribed to CJN. I wonder what you make of that one. The Nigerian Observer. Nigeria's crude grades surge amid the Iranian president's death. And then from then on to Vanguard newspaper. POS, anger, frustration over high cost of cash withdrawals, the paper reports this morning. And then some of the riders, as operators gradually take over banks' ATM function, customers relate sad experiences in states. Banks sell cash to us. Delta POS operator. So, isn't that supposed to be big news? Banks selling that? Okay. Daily Independent, Rivers crisis. Don't set Niger Delta on fire. Jonathan tells Wike Fubara, urges ceasefire, says they must work for Rivers' interest. Nigerian News Direct also continuing on that theme. Wike Fubara feud. Jonathan calls for ceasefire, says Rivers state unrest will destabilize Niger Delta as Fubara vows to deliver Trans-Calabari Road before leaving office. That's what you also see right there on the front page this morning. Business Day, telco thirst for local banks grows as loans up 200%. The Guardian is next. School feeding of 10 million kids. FG in dilemma as inflation spikes meal budgets to 540 billion naira. And then they give us a table of all of that, from pepper, beans, spaghetti, all of those costs on the front page of The Guardian here today. Blueprints. Judges stand for God on earth. Mustn't bow to public opinion. Ascribed to the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Fagbemi Edun, others back 300% salary increment for judicial officers. Then they also have this bit here. Wike Fubara feud can destroy Niger Delta. Jonathan warns. That's Blueprint. Have a look at the Abuja Inquirer. Tension high as soldiers camp at Banex Plaza. So all of that featuring on the front page of the dailies today.
Okay, well, those are the headlines that we have this morning. I'm going to take the Vanguard, because there's quite a number of headlines here from the Vanguard that we think we should look at. Anger, frustration over high cost of cash withdrawals. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard. And I think I share this sentiment as well. But you can read more on page 5 there. Operators are gradually taking over banks' ATM functions. Customers are relating their sad experiences in the States. And then we're seeing in Delta State, a Delta POS operator says banks are selling cash to them. That's something that needs to be looked at.
That's not supposed to be right.
That's not right. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't feel right. And it's not right. That shouldn't be happening. Anyway, so we're seeing that. But quite a number of other headlines there from the same Vanguard newspaper. Of course, everyone is talking about former President Goodluck Jonathan asking everyone to sheathe their swords in Rivers State, de-escalate tensions in the place so governance can actually happen.
You know, yeah, the same way that Nigerian News Direct also made it a big lead. And it's one of the most sensible things one of the leaders there has said, or any leader has said about this scenario. Ever since all of that blew up out there, because almost when you turn to they pitch their tents left and right, not forgetting that the average person in that state just wants to go about their businesses and their livelihood peacefully.
It is the example of politics getting in the way of governance.
Which is, well, should we say surprisingly or unsurprisingly, But I mean, it's politicians themselves too who threw themselves, but you have several people too who have said, no, it mustn't be like that. And for those who seem to have been shouting loudest, externalities, those who are watching from behind the scenes, but they should also remember the big question too, much as he said this, will they listen?
Will they listen? There was a truce, remember? I keep trying to go back to that. There was an 8-point truce at the president. Something to, although many people have said, you know, this solution wasn't going to work anyway. Some people have even said some of it is against the Constitution. But, you know, if the president was able to wade into this matter, get everybody involved, come on, let's work together, and it didn't work. How is it going to work?
But from what the president has said, former president, it appears as though we have maybe a sneak peek, an idea of what the bone of contention is. When he said, what, you can't have 100%. Something in that regard. So who knows?
I mean, it's time. I think a lot of Nigerians are on the side of former President Goodluck Jonathan here, where they're saying, look, sheathe your swords. We need to be able to focus on governance in this place and get over this, because Rivers State is very crucial to Nigeria's development. And, you know, there's some talk about, you know, the kind of elder statesmen we have from Rivers State. We have quite a number of money bags and statesmen.
Money statesmen.
From Rivers
Money elder
State.
statesmen.
And if there's a way they can come together, bring these parties together, fix whatever this is, get everyone going. Let's focus on governance, because there is a lot of governance that has to happen.
Look at the cost of living.
Exactly.
Do you want anything to make it any tougher for anyone? Isn't it tough already for people out there? And so people are not coming to do business in those areas for fear of who knows what might happen. That's not what you want. You just want things to go on peacefully. Because after all, when they settle, you won't be there.
Let's see how that, let's see how all of that works out. Quite a number of headlines there from the Vanguard. If you want more on the Goodluck Jonathan story, you can go to page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. What are you looking at?
Well, almost everything here just sticks out to you. You keep asking questions. Is it from the remuneration to the premium motor spirit and what needs to be done about that? I mean, people asking questions as to are we going to have a monopoly in that regard, to what extent, to Lagos shutting 840 event centers, and then the case about cyberbullying, which I saw inside one of the papers here, another important scenario. But, well, for me, what sticks out is part of what we'll be focusing on this morning.